to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
Coach, it is clear, but it is cold here today as EA Sports takes us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett. Brissett to throw on first. His throw incomplete. Now let's give you a look here at the New England offense.
I love the versatility of Marcus Cannon. He can play guard. He can play tackle. I think his footwork has really improved during his time in the NFL. He has one of the better backstories that you're going to get. This is a guy who was diagnosed with cancer, has beaten that, and now is one of the better players in the NFL.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Brissett, Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Brissett, oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Yeah, that's a pretty good one for the old average. 68 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson, forced out to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. Starting lineup time for the offense. What about Dwayne Brown, my friend?
Remember when we were kids and you wanted to make sure you had the big guy next to you all the time because you needed a bodyguard? That's Dwayne Brown at left tackle. He protects his quarterback so well as provides great access in the running game.
And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And Jennings has it. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. and that's what he did.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This complete to Lockett. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Gary Jennings, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration. As
a big seam, and he might go all the way. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. James White with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us.
We got this.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. Dante Hightower in there to get him, and on the season now that is 9 sacks for him.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much, unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Here we go on 4th with Wilson. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Jennings was the one he was looking for. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive, now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Brissett off the play fake to White. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Brissett, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by Michael Bennett, the native of tiny Independence, Louisiana. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they try to get it back right over.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jadeveon Clowney in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Jadeveon Clowney getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I won't wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
The Patriots send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returnable for Grant. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing is Wilson. He's got Lockett. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. From the 29, Wilson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
56.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Left.
They'll run on first down. Carson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 2nd down and 4. Wilson. This pass to Jennings, and he makes a catch. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing again here, Wilson. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Wilson will throw again. And he finds McLaurin. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Wilson. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Carson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage. No yardage to be found.
Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Here comes Grant on the return. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Play action. Now Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They got 29 yards that time.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. Flushed out right. Completes it to Jennings. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson being chased out left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Patriot offense heading back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. The 30, the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Allen Robinson, 84 yards. And the Patriots get a score closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays, the long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Brissett sets to throw it. This is White on the screen. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Brissett now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bobby Wagner able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely.
And he's going to go down again. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. It took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number 1, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
The Pats will go. It's Brissett. And Robinson with a big catch. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Allen Robinson with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game, as his guys are back within a single score. So that's a really big play here in the fourth quarter. And don't look now. They're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just one score. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. He's got it, and they're back within a touchdown at 28-21. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it ends with a New England touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 33 yards that time. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. It's Eckler again. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Check 50, check 50.
Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Patriots now down by 2 touchdowns. And time, a huge factor. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order.
Check. Watch it before. Down to lose 1.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 13 and a New England first down. Now Brissett. Dorsett's got it. Now the Patriots moving quickly, hustling up to the line. Throwing again on 2nd down. Brissett, short play like that in this situation. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Bobby Wagner in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. To throw, Brissett. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Brissett off the play fake to White. It's complete to Robinson. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Once more, here's Eckler. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for the Seahawks, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year.